city. Sports, sports in the city. Sports in the city. You already know we keeping it gritty with that sports in the city. Welcome to that sports in the city, from the east to the west coast, from the north to the south, all over the globe. There's a sports in the city wherever you are. Thanks for tuning in to Sports in the City TV. I'm your sports G, Reed Richards, with my partner in crime, BK Ty, Kato Cash, Ja Logic. Got a special guest, Big Reek, in the building today.
Yo.
Definitely, man. Peace, my G's. What's going on, God?
Not much.
Everything is everything, brother. Blessed to see another day. Definitely
Yeah.
thankful to be on with y'all and, discuss some sports, man. Shouts out to all the fans all across the globe, every arena, every rink, every field, every court. Salute.
Yep. Definitely. Reek, what's going on, brother? How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good, man. It's been a minute since I've done some potting, man. So it feels good to be back in the whole podcast realm, man. Appreciate y'all having me on. Looking forward to the conversations that's about to take place tonight.
Definitely, man. Glad to have you, family. Glad to have you. And we gonna do it up. Hit up that chat. Get at us. Hit up that like button, that subscribe button for Big Ty. Gotta come see you. Facebook Live, YouTube Live. Check in while we're live. Let us know what's top shelf. Leave your comments, and let us know what you want to talk about. Want to sponsor the show? Let us know. TMC style, bob and weave, like the old Golden State Warriors. Shake and bake, quick pick, rapid fire, high-powered offense style. Great men do great things. We laugh, joke, and play, but we don't play around. We don't play around. We don't mess around. We don't fool around. We get down to the business. So here we go, man. Let's get to it. This is going to be a classic, man. Yo, Ja Logic, man. Definitely going to be a monster, man. Definitely going to be a monster. So, BK Ty, man, what you got in store for us today, man?
Man, we got a lot to cover tonight, man. It's been a minute since we've been on, and there's a few things that we got to cover. But first, let's get into the quick topics. Starting it off, we got Major League Baseball spring training.
Hold up. My bad, G. My bad. I was a little preemptive. Let them know where we broadcasting from, man.
Oh, true that.
Sports in the City TV via the iRant Network presents Top Shelf Tuesday. What's the story in the city? The word on the streets, the haps in the arena. The Equinox progression continues, man. Season 2, episode 5. And you know how we gonna do it. We gonna do it live. NBA, man, it's the next progression of the whole Equinox. As the season changes, the sports is gonna change. So now we got NBA in full effect. You got March Madness right upon us, and you got spring training, the hot stove. So you got a lot of things going on, Ty. I'm
for sure.
Definitely pass it on to you. Let's get to it. Strictly top shelf off the top of the pile. Hit that quick news.
For sure. The first thing we want to get into, Major League spring training has begun this week. Pitchers and catchers reported last week, February 13th, with the rest of the teams filtering in by the 18th to their respective Cactus or Grapefruit League teams. Opening day scheduled for Thursday, March 28th. You guys looking forward to the MLB season? I know you are, Reed.
Oh, no question. No question. You know that. See, I'm representing today. And
Let's go
why,
Bombers.
baby? Yeah, they played against the Mets in the Grapefruit League. They lost 5-4, but spring training is all about tuning up, man, and getting ready for the season. So
Absolutely.
You already know I'm excited about that. And I know you're excited as well because the NBA action is also heating up historically, man.
Yep.
Definitely. But I got to step out, man. I'm on the bench today, man, dealing with a couple injuries, but I'm sure that the show is in great hands. You'll have a great show, man, and I'll be back next week, man, tuning in from a remote location. Reed Richards signing off, man. Peace, my brothers.
Peace. We got
Peace.
you. That's right. So the number 2 topic we want to get into tonight, real quick, the Broncos have
Hold on. You Yankees fans always trying to conglomerate, and y'all trying to hog the stage.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Shout out to the Braves, man. We 6-5 in the preseason, man. You know we coming for.
We hype up preseason records now.
Yeah, man, every other year we build it. You know.
Hold up, Kato. Man. Kato, bro, you are all over the place.
I didn't know. I would have worn my jersey.
Listen, you from Brooklyn. You rock with the Ravens. You rock with the Pirates. No, not the Pirates.
Blasphemy right there. Blasphemy.
You all over the place.
Man. I should have worn my jersey. I didn't know it was one of them type of parties.
The Braves are orphans to us, man. They not in our network.
I thought he was gone.
The Braves, they not in our network.
I'm still stuck on the fact he started bringing up spring training records, man. That's some nasty business right there, yo.
Yo, that's not a fan. That's a fan addict. So getting number 2, we got the Broncos who cut Russell Wilson and will end up taking an $85 million dead cap hit. That's crazy. Where do you guys think Russ will end up? And with that 12th pick in the draft, how do you think Denver's going to replace him?
See, it's a little. I don't really know how to go about it, honestly. Like with Russ, it's like there's a lot of teams that are like kind of in the ready now. They're like a quarterback away type of deal. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, the Jets speculation, A-Rod being back. You know, they let go of Zach. They're letting Zach test out the trade market. You know, they're gonna be looking for somebody. You know, Russ is getting the money already from Denver, so he has that minimum that could be used as leverage to teams that are like kind of in the ready now. That's like, okay, our quarterback isn't panning out. Another team, Pittsburgh had a lot of problems last year. They couldn't really get the offense going. And although they got Arthur Smith as their OC now, so I don't really see much improvement going. A quarterback that's seasoned, that has playoff experience, that's a winner, a proven winner, could do a lot for an offense like that. So the 2 teams I'm kind of eyeing right now, I'm eyeing Pittsburgh, I'm eyeing Atlanta. And I'm gonna go on the limb. I gotta tie us into this one just due to the fact of we're looking for a quarterback, and either we're gonna draft one or we're gonna sign one in the free agency. With that vet minimum, that's kind of the thing that Joe Schoen is looking for, because Joe Schoen is a big finance guy. He's real tight on the money in the cap. So if that vet minimum becomes a possibility with Russ Wilson as the New York Giants GM, and you're having problems at quarterback and you have all this talent around you, that may be the option that you may want to go to.
That's a great point you make, man. Kato and I had a discussion earlier where I ain't even gonna front, we was fighting over Russell Wilson. But who knows? But that's a great point that you make. And to Kato's point earlier, definitely I see Russell with a team that has a chance to compete, that has a chance to go deep in the playoffs. I think he wants to set himself up for another deep postseason run. So we shall see what happens on that front. On our next note, 6-time Pro Bowler Jason Kelce is retiring after 13 seasons and 1 Super Bowl ring, and is eligible for the Hall of Fame nomination in 2029. Not a lot to talk about here, but salute to the man Jason Kelce. What do you got to say, Kato?
Well, Jason Kelce, he wanted to come back this year only just to go for the Super Bowl run. After that flaming third that just went on the Eagles season, man.
That was nasty.
I'll take a ticket out of here. I'm taking the next ticket out of here. Plus, he probably, since his brother's not retiring yet, he might be able to fill in until he becomes his permanent stunt double.
I think he's gonna really enjoy being able to travel and really support his brother. You'll see him at all the KC games. Probably getting the same amount of spotlight that Taylor Swift may be getting at the games next season.
Jason Kelsey has a lot of appeal to casual fans, man. He's a real people person, a real outgoing type of guy, and I think that idea was cemented, with him being at the Super Bowl in the stands, hopping out of the box and getting down there with the fans, and rub shoulders and all of that. So again,
that's on par, very on brand.
Definitely salute to Jason Kelsey. And lastly, on the quick hits, LeBron James scores his 40,000th point, has already locked up the NBA all-time scoring title, but has just extended the margin between him and anybody else that hopes to come along and break that record. What do you guys think about that?
I think that Luka, would have to average like 35 for like 17 straight seasons. Ain't nobody really close to it. It's going to be like when Kareem, we shouldn't be celebrating this because this is LeBron James. His whole career has been a celebration running through it. I know one of the few players that actually lived up to his billing in my lifetime from his first game against Sacramento.
True
Remember
indeed.
the commercial with the freeze?
True indeed.
To who we see today, 4 championships.
4 championships, 6 trips to the finals.
With that, I got a question real fast.
Yeah.
What record gets broke first? His career points or the single game points by Wilt? Because they both seem very untouchable right now.
You know something? With the way the NBA is being played this season, man, where season after season, they keep tinkering with the rules and how the game's played to try and increase scoring, which is so ironic that Adam Silver had a problem with the score of the All-Star game, which is something we'll get into later. But I definitely think that the single scoring, you know what? With the way the game is being played now, that single game point total is definitely not out of reach. But to Cato's point, man, first of all, guys don't even come out of high school anymore. So that's one strike against anybody coming in and breaking that record, because LeBron started when he was 18. I don't think any other player in NBA history, again, will have that benefit of being able to start that young. So I definitely see that that point, that all-time scoring leader, the most points in NBA history. I definitely think that's the more untouchable record. But I think they're both capable of being broken.
I think Jokic's record of triple doubles against every team is going to be probably an easier record to beat than that one.
Doesn't LeBron have that also?
Nah, not against every team.
Not against every team.
They called it out, Jokic.
Okay.
Doesn't have that?
I don't think so. Against every team, nah.
I thought there were 3 people. I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Westbrook, Bron, and Jokic. I could be mistaken. Hey, if anybody's listening, hit us up in the comments and let us know. For sure. And moving right along, let's get to the standings. Cato, you want to take that away, brother?
Talk about the NBA standings?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the NBA standings is looking a little shaky. Boston is in first place, killing every team out there.
Boston's running away with it.
48-12. Then you got Milwaukee at 41-21. They playing helter skelter. You got Cleveland that jumped into third place and looking like they holding it down at 39-21. Then you got the Knicks, the hometown Knicks, 36-25. Still with the mash unit going out there. But they holding it tight right there because they only 3.5 games behind Cleveland. Then you got Philadelphia. They've been losing a lot lately. They're 35-25 in the 5 seed. Then you got Orlando, 13.5 games out, only a half a game outside of Philadelphia in the 6 seed. Miami is only a half a game behind Orlando. They're 34-26. Then you got Indiana in the 8th seed at 34-28. They'll be in the play-in with Miami if everything stopped now. and then you got Chicago at 29-32. They really don't got a chance. They probably gonna get smoked out. We know how Chicago been.
They've been playing some good ball lately, though. So
yeah, Kobe White. Shout out to Kobe White. Shout out to
salute
Kobe White.
Absolutely.
Then you got the Atlanta Hawks at 26-34. There, you know, Atlanta, they looking for a place to ship Trae Young.
Trae Young's out for the rest of the season, right? Or he's out for like a certain amount of time, right?
What was that?
Trae Young's out for like a big chunk of the rest of the season, right?
Is he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's hurt right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, I'm not sure. I don't remember. All I remember is only thing I remember recently was who just broke their hand.
Yeah, he got a torn ligament.
Scotty. What's his name from Toronto?
Nah, Trae Young. Just to update, Trae Young has a torn ligament. He'll be out 4 weeks in his left pinky finger.
Okay.
So you were right on that one. Trae Young does take a hit with that. Then you got the Nets. The Nets stinking it up, 24-37. They're about 2.5 games behind Atlanta. Then you got the Raptors. They're playing for lottery balls right there, 23-38. Then you got Charlotte, 8 games behind them, playing for ultra lottery balls. You know, they're trying to stuff the ballots, 15-46. Then you got the woeful Pistons at 9-51, and the Wizards at 9-52. Out west, you got the Timberwolves. They're half a game in front of the Thunder and the Nuggets at 43-19. OKC is 42-19, and the Nuggets are tied at 42-19.
That's a tight race there at the top of the West right now.
Yeah. Then you got the Clippers 3 games out, 39-21.
Clippers are my dark horse to come out of the West.
Okay. They always got people hurt though, man. I know Justin.
I agree with that wholeheartedly, man. The Clippers are playing good basketball, but
Russ is out.
And check this out, Kato. To your point about the injuries that always plague the Clippers, that was the reason that they got Harden, to kind of let the other ones, the PGs, the Kawhis, who, you know, come up with these injuries at the most inopportune times and end up losing their positioning during the regular season. I think that was one of the biggest benefits to the Clippers getting James Harden, was able to get a guy that would help keep them afloat in times where you would expect one of your big name players to go down with injury. But luckily, so far they've been blessed this season to be kind of healthy and are on a roll recently.
Yeah, and Paul Coffey and Terrence Mann better start earning their money. A couple of guys from the bench got to start stepping up. What's my next man?
That is their Achilles.
Toronto.
That is
my boy, they came over from Toronto. Powell got to step it up. After that, you got the Pelicans at 36-25. They're about 3.5 games behind the Clippers, 6.5 outside. Then you got the Suns at the 6th seed at 35-26. They're only a game behind the Pelicans. So watch out. Then you
Suns got to watch out for Sacramento, man. They right on their heels. Suns is right now in danger of getting into that play-in.
Yeah, well,
it's gonna be a gauntlet. That's a bloodbath looking like right now.
Yeah, man. The Suns and the Kings have been 500 in the last 10 games, so we'll see where it goes. The Kings is only a half a game behind the Suns. Then you got the Dallas Mavericks, which is a half a game behind the Kings at 34-27. Then you got the Lakers, which are 2 games behind the Suns, 34-29. Golden State is the 10 seed, 32-28. It look like it's real in the West. Even up to the 10th seed, dudes is above 500. It's real in the field.
As usual. If
I'm the Thunder and I'm anywhere between that second and third seed, I'm praying that I get the 3rd seed and don't have to go nowhere near the 7th or 8th seed teams, because if it ends up being LA, or if it ends up being Golden State, that could cause problems for the Thunder. That Thunder team, you know, SGA is playing lights out, playing MVP basketball right now. But that experience, like as you saw the other night when Thunder went up against LA, LA's just like they can be way too physical, and they have the playoff experience, championship experience that they don't have. But yeah, that West, that's nothing to play with right now.
Yeah,
And side note, man, it's incredible how effortless SGA makes basketball look.
Yeah, I told you. I
And he
told
doesn't
you
shoot
he's a
threes.
great one. I
He
told
doesn't
you
shoot-
he's a great one. When the Knicks wanted to give up the house for him, I was like, "Yo, man, the Knicks should have threw in something else." Yo.
Yeah, that kid is special.
Absolutely.
Does anybody believe that the Jazz or the Rockets, who are 5 and 6 games out of Golden State, have any chance of catching them out west?
Golden State and LA are kind of both, well, not so much the Lakers, but Golden State is kind of righting the ship, for lack of a better way to put it. You know, Kerr has finally realized that Chris Paul and Klay Thompson need to come off the bench, and you need to let those young boys play. So I don't see Golden State getting caught by anybody below them, short of a major injury. You know what I'm saying?
So, and then you got the cellar dwellers, but we can't. If we're gonna talk about the cellar dwellers, we got the Rockets at 26 and 34, the Grizzlies 21 and 41, the Blazers at 17 and 43, and the Spurs at 13. What are y'all thinking about Wemby? We can't go without talking about Wemby. Even though they 13 and 48, we can't go without
playing phenomenal basketball, man. Like he's amazing to watch. And
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Since I want to say I was looking at this earlier. I believe it was since All-Star break or since it was like the certain amount of games he's been shooting 40% from the trade.
Yeah.
Listen, let me tell you something. Victor Wembanyama in 3 years, not even 4 years, 3 years from now is going to be somebody that nobody wants to see. I seen a move that he did the other night where he put the ball he dribbled and put the ball behind his back and went to the hole and yammed it on Brook Lopez, man. And I'm like, yo, this dude.
The thing is, the Spurs, there's no slow rebuild with San Antonio. They need to act now.
Nah. They're doing exactly what they need to do. Get one more blue chipper in there to roll with.
Like draft wise, yes. But they need to act.
They looking
now
for the lottery
well.
again. They looking for the lottery again.
They get that lottery. They add another lottery with Wemby, but they need to act like this. Like this is the only rebuild year for them. Next year there should be no rebuild. They should be like, okay, what do we got to do to get to the playoffs?
Nah, man, because getting to the playoffs ain't gonna be nothing. If they build a team around them, they get 10 years, bro.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You gotta go for the long term.
But how long does Popovich stay? Like, you gotta think about it. How much more time does Popovich got?
Yo, man, just to see that kind of athlete, bro, just sit back and watch.
I think Pop is just enjoying the show right now, but he realizes, man, the next chip that San Antonio gets, if and when Victor Wembanyama eventually wins a chip, Pop knows he won't be a part of that. Not as a coach, anyway.
Durant and them dudes soon done, and LeBron and them soon done. Wait till they pin her out.
Yeah, 100%. The one thing I wanted to touch on real briefly, though, can we just talk about the pretenders at the number 3 seed in the East, the Cavaliers, real fast? I'm so sick and tired. As a Knicks fan, I am so sick and tired of the Cav talk. I can't stand the Cavs might be the one team I do not like in the NBA right now.
Yo, bro, this is a regular season team. We talking about the regular season right now.
I'm just so tired of the Cavs talk. But shout out to my boy Josh Hart, man.
Salute to Josh Hart, the new John Starks. For real.
No, man.
His name says it all Hart, man. We got the whole foundation in New York, and I'm loving it.
I'll say this about Cleveland, man. I was definitely surprised at how we handled them the other night without our whole basically starting 5.
4 to 5 starters out.
There's certain teams that get ownership. You see, like how Philly own y'all most of the time when Embiid is
we beat Philly by 30 this year.
You mean Orlando? You mean Orlando? Because Orlando definitely got our number this season. I don't even understand it.
Yo, bro, man, I'm telling you, we coming. All we need is a point guard. Oh, we need a point guard.
Give
Give us Brunson. Give us Brunson.
Evan Mobley made a comment that to me that which is why I know I say they're pretenders. He made a comment in saying Jalen Brunson getting hurt in the first 47 seconds of the game threw them off their rhythm. That was his excuse.
That's a sucker. That's a sucker comment.
Yeah, that's definitely a cop out.
That
just lets me know, man, they not ready.
Mobley and Allen combined for 20 rebounds. Josh Hart had 19.
Right. Enough said. Let's move on real quick, fellas. Let me get to these NHL scores real quick. Reek, you follow hockey at all?
I haven't been following hockey this year at all. Not even gonna lie to you. Okay. I've been real big in the NBA this year. I'm college basketball as well.
I'm not a big hockey fan myself, but the Rangers are doing pretty good right now. So I peep in every now and then and
always
see what's going on. The Rangers. You know what I mean? So let's run down the top 10 in each conference right now. Starting with in the Eastern Conference, we have the Florida Panthers, Boston Bruins, New York Rangers, and Carolina Hurricanes at the top 4 positions. Coming in at number 5, we have the Maple Leafs, Detroit Red Wings at number 6, Tampa Bay at 7, Philly Flyers at 8, Islanders. What was that?
When did Detroit join the East?
That's a great question.
Yo, when did Detroit?
I think it's because the Seattle Kraken just became they just had the expansion, I believe.
And they had to
the relocation with the Kraken. The Kraken is like a team that has been around for the past 2-3 years.
Oh, I want to say. I ain't even know they moved over. I'm like, what?
That's right. And then they just had Vegas come into the league too. So I definitely so a little realignment was probably called for.
Absolutely.
For sure. Islanders at 9, and the Capitals rounding out the top 10 in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, hold on. The Islanders fired. No, what was it? Not the Islanders. Devils recently fired their coach.
Yeah.
Just to let you know.
Yep.
So my boy, man, you did your work. You know how in hockey is the only league. I think it's the highest turnover of any league with coaches. You'll get fired mid-season. You get fired during losing streak. Hell, man, if some crazy thing happened on a plane or some leaked email or something, you gone, bro. It's a wrap. They don't play no games with them hockey coaches. So I hope they get guaranteed money, just like all the other coaches. They probably do because they union usually organized, man. Shout out to the NHL coaches, because y'all be.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, like with all other sports, man, as a coach, if you get fired, you keep that bread. They gotta pay you.
Yeah, it gotta be because they get fired a lot quick. They get fired real quick, man.
Sure, starting to look like the NFL, man. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. Let's go to the Western Conference in the NHL. The top 5 are the Vancouver Canucks, Winnipeg Jets, Dallas Stars, Colorado Avalanche, and the Edmonton Oilers. And rounding up,
hold on, the Oilers are pretenders. They always come in pretending. So we gonna leave them out. They fired their coach earlier this year, if I remember correctly.
They did.
Yeah.
To your point, there we go. Hockey coaching turnover, right?
Yep, I find it crazy how the Kraken just fell out off the face of the earth. They had a pretty good postseason run last year, and now they're nowhere in the top 10 in the NHL. I haven't been following hockey much, but I remember last year. They were upsetting a lot of teams last year, if I'm not mistaken. So
typically, I'm like I said, I haven't been following hockey like that, but typically when you see a turnaround like that, it's either due to a major injury or they probably signed some free agents that helped put them over the top, or just made them a little better for a postseason run. There's no telling.
Yeah, but hockey's expansion is better than any other sport. You actually get real good players.
Yeah, look at Vegas. Look at Vegas.
Stay under the hard cap, so you end up with a pick of better players than other leagues.
Absolutely. Speaking of Vegas, they come in at number 6. Then we have the Kings, Predators, Blues, and the Calgary Flames rounding out the top 10 in the Western Conference of the NHL.
Yeah.
Definitely a tight race over there. Real quick, I want to get back to, this week is championship week in the NCAA, with Selection Sunday a mere 2 Sundays away.
Yeah, a lot of teams on the bubble. I could talk about that right there, man.
A lot of teams on the bubble. Well, we have all the championships this week, and then like I mentioned, we have Selection Sunday coming up. Let me go through the top 10 in men's basketball real quick, and then we'll talk about it. At number 1 in the AP poll, we have Houston, followed by UConn, Purdue, Tennessee, Arizona, Iowa State at number 6. We have the Tar Heels coming in at number 7, followed by Marquette, Duke, always finding a way to hang around in the rankings, and Creighton at number 10. The coaches poll pretty much has the same rankings. They just flip-flop Duke and Marquette. On the coaches poll, Duke came in at 8 and Marquette came in at number 9. So what are your thoughts about March Madness, about the tournaments coming up? Anything?
Well, Houston and UConn are the 2 hot teams. Duke and Carolina is right off the tip. Marquette has been having a cold streak lately, but I think that Smart will coach them up, and they'll definitely fall in line. Then
Hold up, I'm tripping. Shaka Smart is the coach of Marquette. He's not at Texas no more?
Nah, he left Texas and he took the job at Marquette because I think it was closer to his home and stuff. He's from Minnesota, that area.
Okay.
Or Wisconsin, I mean. He's from Wisconsin.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So also you got out west, you got Arizona's making a run. You got in the Midwest, you always got Kansas out there. It's making a run. Then
shout out to the Jayhawks. That's my son's team.
Yeah, you got some of the blue bloods that's on the bubble. Like Michigan State is on the bubble right now. You got a team, Penny and Memphis. They don't have a strong schedule, and coming from the Conference USA, they not the leaders of their conference, so they got to do good in the conference.
Didn't he get suspended or something like that this year?
Huh?
Didn't Penny Hardaway get suspended or something like that this year?
Beginning of the season, I believe he was out. He missed the
season. Oh, so he just missed a couple of games at the beginning of the season.
You know how the NCAA only be persecuting certain individuals, man. So
for dumb stuff too.
Yeah, they persecute who they want to, man.
For dumb stuff.
Yeah, man. And then out in the SEC, you got a lot of teams out in the SEC that's going to be coming out this year. South Carolina's having a good season. Florida's having a good season. You got Auburn having a good season, Tennessee having a good season. And then you got the Wildcats out there. They got a freshman,
Dillingham.
And the freshman guard has been putting in work on the defense and the offense. I think it's Shepard Jr. He's showing shadows of his pops with just more defense with the shooting. Then you got DJ Wagner on Kentucky also.
Another legacy.
Yeah, another legacy player. Then you got a team on the bubble like Mississippi State is on the bubble out there in the SEC. They have a strong sense of schedule. Then you got out in the Big Ten. You got a lot of teams that's coming out there from the Big Ten and stuff. Then the Big East has a couple of teams. UConn's out there. Man, I think, matter of fact, UConn's not in the Big East. I think UConn is in Conference USA. You got Marquette and certain teams.
It was a shift.
Big East. Yeah, with the shift. Providence is on the bubble coming out the Big East. Rutgers, they got to have a strong run. All the local teams, Patino, St. John's, they're out of it. You might have a run from
that was my team coming up. I don't follow college basketball too tough, but I was definitely big on the red men and the orange men back in the late 80s.
Yeah, right now we're gonna have to root for LIU.
Nah, we talking nation over here, man.
I'm saying, man, LIU, Rod Strickland, baby. LIU,
That's right, Coach Rod. I forgot. That's right, Coach Strickland.
Man. You gotta get him some shine. Maybe St. Francis, maybe in Manhattan College. You might get a Niagara or something like that comes out.
Iona, nah.
Yeah, the Iona. You never know. Iona might make a run.
Iona plays. They play good basketball though. That's a solid program over there in Iona. They contend pretty well in their conference every year. So
Seton Hall is pretty much out of it. Holloway don't got them really playing like that. So No, we ain't gonna see much out here.
Speaking of in college basketball, man, real quick, always I got to give a shout out to the hometown team. Shout out to Norfolk State. They just clinched the regular season title.
Okay.
Shout out to Coach Rob Jones. Shout out to the homie.
Yeah,
What up, Rob? Salute.
I think y'all gotta win the tournament to get a seat in the party. But
yeah, 1,000%.
Always.
But the way that program just keeps it going, I don't see them not getting in this year. They handle business. Every year it's always the one team, North Carolina Central. But the way I've seen them handle the program that Rob has just built since he took over a head honcho over there at Norfolk State. Every year is phenomenal, man.
Yeah.
What up, Rob? Salute to Coach Rob Jones. Salute to NSU.
You gotta watch out though, and in the smaller conferences, in the conference tournament, things get wild. You gotta play those back-to-back games.
Yeah.
Tell them they gotta keep
Rob runs a tight ship, man. So if they lose, it's not gonna be from lack of preparation or concentration. It's just gonna be because there's a better team out there, but we shall see. Mm-hmm. Let's move on to the ladies' top 10. Beginning with the juggernaut that is South Carolina. Coming in at number 2, we have Stanford, followed by Iowa. Shouts out to Caitlin Clark. Coming in at number 4, we have Ohio State, followed by USC. Texas, UCLA at number 7, LSU, UConn, and NC State rounding out the top 10. And that was the AP poll. And the coaches poll has LSU at number 5, and it has USC at number 8. So they just flip-flopped.
So am I the only person that's a little bit more excited for the women's tournament than the men's, just because of you look at South Carolina, the top dogs, they got a lot to prove. They got stumped out last year. They got stumped out last year by Iowa. You know what I mean? So I'm honestly looking forward to watching the women's tournament just slightly more than the men's tournament, because I feel like just the team level, you got Juju Watkins, the freshman, doing her thing at USC, who's in the top 5.
Right.
I always got to root for hometown. We got AJ James' sister, playing at NC State, straight killing it over and as the guard over there in NC State. So I think the women, and then you got Caitlin Clark coming back for revenge, trying to find her way to another title game to cement her college career. I feel like that's the one thing that would just kind of cement her into probably the best college basketball player to touch a court, men or women.
They'll definitely have a better shot this year. I definitely think Iowa's going to get a number 1 seed in their bracket.
Y'all got to watch out for the Stanford Cardinals and UCLA. I'm giving y'all the dark horses. UCLA, Stanford, and don't forget about Gino out there at UConn.
Oh yeah, you can't never forget about UConn. You got Peyton Buckets out there too. You can't forget about UConn at all.
Everybody, they must have forgot. But South Carolina is definitely going to be beating that drum. South Carolina coming ready. LSU is going to come ready also. Hopefully they.
Shouts out to Angel Reese.
But I can't go over the women for the men. I'm not gonna go with the propaganda that's been going on.
You want to know why? You want to know why? Because what the women have this season that the men don't is a bona fide star, man. A stand. Matter of fact, 2. If you put Juju up in there,
I mean, honestly,
right? 3, you put Angel up in there, and then they have the juggernaut, which is the South Carolina women's team. So it's definitely easier to see that the women's tournament will probably have more compelling stories than the men's tournament this year.
Just because the Ignite from the G League took some of the players and stuff, you see, the women don't got to worry about that. There's no G League taking place. There's no Europe where they could go.
That's not their problem, though. That ain't their problem.
Hold on. In college basketball, the real stars are born in the tournament. Everybody knows that.
Absolutely.
Right now with the AAU stuff, some of them rankings be shaky. People be getting paid and stuff. Certain players don't play against certain players because of the sneaker syndicates that control the AAU junkets. But The tournament, you're gonna see the players. I've been watching the college ball. It's just not one player taking over like that. But there's a nice group of players coming in next year. You're gonna be surprised by the draft next year and some of them players coming out of college. Trust.
We shall see. To be continued. So let's get into some top stories. No, we've been at it for a while, but we recently talked about this young lady, Caitlin Clark, who recently broke the NCAA scoring record in basketball. So shouts out to Caitlin Clark for breaking the NCAA scoring record, men's or women's. Actually, she broke Pistol Pete's record.
Hold on. That's blasphemy. Pistol Pete did it with no
listen to what I said. NCAA.
No, hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
Pistol Pete did it with no 3-point line. I rest my case.
Shouts out to that.
My case. Stop bringing this up. It's like when people Barry Bonds got the home run record, but people don't be bringing it up over Hank Aaron and the others like that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Come on. No 3-point line, man.
You know what? So I won't take anything away from what you said. You're absolutely right that Pete did it without the 3-point line. As a matter of fact,
and freshmen couldn't play varsity basketball back in the days too. He would have been clocking dudes early.
That's crazy. But still, we definitely want to give the young lady her props, man. Not take anything away from her.
Yeah, we can't take away from her though, man.
She's changing the game. I mean, to the point where they're talking about allowing. The debate is, should they start allowing women to leave after their freshman year to go to the league?
WNBA.
Yeah, to go to the WNBA. That's how bad the WNBA is thirsting for top-notch talent and attractions.
Stop that.
Like Caitlin Clark.
How long do they got to stay all 4? Do they have to stay all 4, or is it 3?
I think they got to stay all 4. It's 3?
Yes.
Because I remember there was a debate about Angel Reese going in last year, but she decided to stay.
It's 3.
Okay, for sure. 3 years. Next up. So this happened a few weeks ago, but we need to talk about NBA All-Star Weekend. We definitely need to talk about NBA All-Star Weekend. Did you fellas catch the festivities?
Nah, I've been skipping it. It's no longer.
The dunk contest was trash.
Personally, ever since they took out the stay in school jam with the mascot slam dunk contest, I've been ixnay on it, yo. That's real talk, yo.
She said they going about it the wrong way, huh, Cash? Oh, you on mute, bro. Oh, there you go.
Yo, you couldn't give me a ticket down there. The traffic, whatever it is, it's a zoo for no reason. It's a fashion show. Nah, I'm good. I went as a youth to the one at the Garden. That was nice.
Oh, you went there. It was 2012.
Nah, before that. The 90s one. Kobe. I think Kobe's first one, 96.
Okay.
Wow.
We went down in 2012.
2015, Brooklyn.
It was 15?
Yeah, it was my senior year of high school. 2015.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. 2015, my bad.
That's nice, guys.
All-Star weekend. For sure. It was nice. It was cold as you
that
know
was
what.
when the Knicks drafted Clay Anthony early.
Yo, all right. The Knicks never draft good, so come on, man. They never draft good, so. Shout out my man John Wallace.
So listen, I agree with you, Rick. The dunk contest has, I don't know what they've done with it. The NBA All-Star Weekend in itself has just become comedy, for lack of a better way to put it, man.
If they would have, if they re-add, I just want to say this: if they re-add the mascot, remember, think about it, the gorilla from the Suns. Remember those dunks, man. Remember the Charlotte Hornet mascot?
Yeah, he had the bee costume on. Then when he came out with the ball, he just had the bodysuit on.
What?
Yeah.
What? What?
Did
Think
y'all,
about that, man.
did y'all see the comments by like Anthony Edwards in regards to like the All-Star game and just things of that nature about him saying like, this is like a break for them. So, that was kind of like the mentality he took with it. It wasn't the same as like back in the day when you had Kobe and Jordan and them, they was going at each other's necks. I was watching a highlight on Stephon Marbury and Kobe in like one of the classic All-Star games down the stretch.
You want to know why that is? I'm gonna tell you why the spirit of competition has all but vanished in the NBA All-Star game, and it has to do with the player empowerment era. Guys have more loyalty to their friends and to their brand than they do to
the game of basketball
emblem on the front of their jersey. You know what I'm saying? So when they get in the game, it's like, we'll play. But to your point, I'm not here to bust my tail and I don't have nothing to prove. I don't have that pride like the 80s and 90s players had, man. They had pride, and it was like, even if it's a pickup game, man, we gonna go and we gonna go hard, and I really think that a lot of the players today, I mean, to your point, but Anthony Edwards said that it's a weekend that they want to chill. I don't know that there's anything that can be done. I was listening to a radio show one morning, and somebody suggested making it like $1 million pot or something like that, or do away with the All-Star game and have a one-on-one competition or a one-on-one tournament. The only thing is, go ahead.
I got an idea. 3-on-3 tournament, $1 million. Put them in different. Let's do it outdoors, like Rucker style, bro. Let's be like old school NBA Jam, outdoors. Bring it on Venice Beach, something like that, and have it outdoors on a vibe. Man.
Here's my point to that.
Have it on the Air Force carrier. Yo, let's do different locations.
Here's my question to that. What NBA All-Star is going to be encouraged or incentivized by $1 million?
None.
Dudes that's making NBA All-Star. I can't think of an NBA All-Star right
like
now.
40, 45.
Probably the lowest paid NBA All-Star was Jalen Brunson.
Yo, make it tax-free. Because none of them don't get that amount of money.
1,250,000, something like that.
I tell you what,
non-agent touched, non-business manager touched, because they get a lot of cut come out of this. Remember that. If you tell them that and you make a deal with them, I think we can make it happen.
When it comes to the dunk contest, they was even speaking on I forgot who spoke on it. Was it Stephen A? They said, like the dunk contest, like they put it on LeBron. They said LeBron ruined the dunk contest. They said, the star-studded, everybody kind of paid their dues, like the all-stars, the high-flying athletes that come through the history of the NBA. They've all paid their dues in the dunk contest at least 1 year. Jordan did it a few years. Kobe did it. But when it got to the point where, like, when LeBron and them got in the league, the star-studded rookies, the superstar caliber players no longer wanted to participate in it.
You want to know why? Because they cannot compete. Because they cannot compete.
Yo, that man was an all-star starter. Put some respect on his name. That man was an all-star starter his rookie year, bro.
Who's that?
LeBron, didn't he?
Oh no, I said superstar caliber rookies, like superstar caliber rookies, superstar like players and all that.
Talk to Shea and all of them about why they didn't participate, yo.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you why. For real, the dunk contest as we know it, those days are over with. Those
man
days
gave
are over.
19 years. What you want?
You're not gonna. First of all, you're not gonna have an established star. I mean, few and far in between, if any, that'll have the creativity to be able to pull off a dub in the dunk contest. You have guys now that's what they do for a living. They go around and do, think of crazy, imaginative, creative dunks that in an NBA game we would never see. And that's why I think Stephen A's criticism of LeBron James and other stars who have chosen not to participate in the dunk contest has passed them by. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't think that's a fair.
I'll say this too for LeBron in particular. I don't know about the rest of them stars. You can talk about that. LeBron gave dudes 19 years, a strict fire on the court, bro. Give a man some grace and some slam dunk contests. Maybe Vince Carter and them, they wouldn't have been so hurt in their career if it wasn't jumping around doing slam dunk contests.
That's
Maybe
another point.
no,
Valid point.
maybe Dwight Howard and some of these other dudes and Amari Stoudemire, if they wouldn't have been doing slam dunk contests, Tracy McGrady and them, they wouldn't be hurt all the time. Grant
That's a
Hill
valid
never
point.
did those slam dunk contests.
I mean, obviously that's the number one. To me, that's the number one reason why they don't do it. You know, it's the money, it's the longevity of the career. It's like the potential of something being there. Although I don't think we've ever been able to witness anything catastrophic happen during the dunk contest, there's always a possibility. And it's like, what risk do you really want to take to just go through and win and get a trophy for the dunk contest when in your mind your goal is the NBA title? You know what I mean? So I get it. I 100% understand why people
You're
don't
not even making a
participate.
Man.
Listen, when you're a perennial playoff participant, you work on your game, you work on your conditioning. You know what I'm saying? You study film. You don't go in a gym and with your boys from high school and practice between the legs, windmills off the side of the backboard dunk. That's like LeBron don't have time for stuff like that. So why would you even think about getting in a dunk contest where dudes are jumping over 7-footers and then putting it behind their back and dunking it? I mean, look, let me tell you, the last great dunk contest that we'll see was Levine and Gordon. I don't think we'll ever have another dunk contest that can touch that.
Not even close.
I got a funny one for you guys. Ask the guy at the pizza shop near you to toss up the pizza and stuff like that. Ask him what he's going to tell you. He could do it probably. He ain't there doing it all the time. Let me know the last time you ever seen that in a pizza shop before. And you see dudes make pizza in a pizza shop. You ain't never seen that. You ever asked
right.
him?
There's always one dude like in every 7 pizza shops, there's one dude that got them skills behind the back and all of that other stuff. Other dudes can do that.
Regular basis, bro. He ain't doing that with it. Yo, let them dudes slide on that all-star.
Oh, that's a fact.
Yo. At the end of the day, they need to mix it up and play that 3-on-3 format. Do something different. They got to think of different things every year and stuff. Get creative with it. Because if not, it should be phased out like the Pro Bowl. Yo,
I agree with you. Shouts out to the 3-point contest though, and also shout out to the co-ed 3-point contest between Ionescu and Steph Curry. What did you guys think about that?
Sabrina did a thing, man.
Cash is like next.
Yo, she did a thing for what she's not shooting. Did she shoot the distance? Let me ask a couple of questions. Did she shoot the distance?
She shot from the men's line.
Shots at the distance. Did she shoot the basketball?
She shot a woman's ball.
She shot a woman's ball.
She shot a woman's ball.
So it's not equal on that part. All right.
I mean, it'll never be equal.
If we want to get into the nitty gritty with it, we're talking about.
Let me finish. Was the rim the same height?
Yes.
It was the same height.
Was the same height. Only difference is the ball.
So
that was the only difference.
Hold on. So we got a smaller basketball in the same size hole, and we surprised that. Like, think about that for me.
Yeah, I can't give you that one.
Yeah, I can't even.
Because the reason when you think about it, the size of the hands is probably the only reason why the basketball size. That's the reason. That's the reason the basketball size is different. If women walking around with the same size hands,
yo, bro. When you go to the carnival, do they give you a different size thing?
Hey, no, that's a Stretch Armstrong size reach on that one, bro.
I hope you ain't pull your hammy, man.
Do they got co-eds?
I hope you ain't pull your hammy, man.
Do they got co-eds in the carnival? Yo,
listen though, I say this. I say this though. I think that was one of the highlights of the night, that co-ed 3-point contest. And I was listening to a radio show where a caller called in and suggested that they do that every year, but as opposed to having it and one NBA guy against a WNBA female, have the returning champs from the season before. So have it be a 2-on-2. So next year, by this caller's suggestion, it would be Steph and Sabrina versus two new challengers, a male and a female.
And
This
like,
is just
man, let's say you do Steph and Sabrina, and then you bring out Dame and Caitlin Clark, because Dame won this 3-point contest. You got young Caitlin Clark, who just broke all the records. She's a certified shooter. You bring her in there to compete as well.
Yep.
You know?
hold on. Let's say this. This is just a bite of the Clyde Drexler and the WNBA player shooting the 2-pointer and the 3-pointer. This is a bite of. So we just going for carnival tricks now. It's a sad day in men's NBA basketball when we're talking about the best event is a woman and a man competing to shoot a 3-point contest. That's all I want to say. Because during the WNBA All-Star game, I don't think there's any event centered around any dudes in the WNBA All-Star game.
In the what All-Star game? In the what All-Star game?
The W.
Do they have a WNBA All-Star game?
Yes, they do.
They do.
Todd. Yes, they do, Todd. Yes, they do, Todd.
The only thing that would make
give me that stripe. Give me that stripe. Give me that.
The only way to make the All-Star weekend like great again, honestly, will be treat it like it's the NFL and have it at the end of the season. That's the only way I can see the NBA All-Star weekend like becoming back to what it was. Make it something that's at the end of the season where it's like, okay, the season's over. We did all we could do. Now, you know what I'm saying? Let's have fun. Let's play ball. Whoop-de-whoop.
Them guys would be like, man, listen, I got a flight to catch. I'll catch y'all next year.
So there's really it's kind of inevitable for like it's not going to ever be what it was. I just don't see that happening.
It's not. So unfortunately they're going to be tinkering with it for the next few years till they find something that sticks for a couple. And hopefully to Cato the sexist.
I'm gonna close on that.
Cancel Cato the sexist. Hopefully to his benefit, there won't be any more WNBA players involved in the NBA All-Star weekend.
I don't have no problem with it. I don't have no
Yo, I'm crying.
Hold on. Let me
get him out of here.
Hold on. Let me say this.
Get him out of here.
Boy, somebody try to sniff at this and it's go viral. Because
it will.
I am not saying that women shouldn't be part of the men's All-Star game. What I'm saying, because
what you're saying is
hold on.
Women's college football is garbage and the WNBA is garbage.
Hold on.
Go ahead, I'm joking.
I'm saying, but if we're centering the whole male All-Star game around the only event that includes females, the men are gonna stop DNP in this All-Star game. Mark my words. Because after a while, they're going to... I'm just telling you what some of them is really thinking in their head. What am I doing here? I don't want to be here. Everything is centered around... The promotion and everything is around an event that doesn't even...
You know what? They can fix that. You know how they can fix it? By competing in the All-Star game. That's one way they can fix it, so that we don't have to rely on gimmicks like co-ed competition and bringing street dudes to do dunk contests instead of regular NBA players and stuff like that. Do you realize that a non-NBA player has won the last 2 dunk contests? That tells you why the NBA players aren't going in the dunk contest.
The game, they don't even dunk like that. They do 3-pointers more. That's first thing. So they should create more shooting competitions. Let's think outside the box. Create more shooting competitions because everybody's shooting. But this is crazy. This is lunacy. We really centering the NBA All-Star game around the co-ed 3-point shooting contest.
Because that's the event that got that got the most positive reviews. Well, between that and the 3-point shooting period. The regular NBA 3-point shootout and that co-ed shootout were the 2 best received events of the weekend. So the NBA definitely has their handfuls trying to resuscitate NBA All-Star Weekend. That's a big task ahead of them.
And I'm gonna end on this statement right here. Next time you go in a pizza shop, especially Super Bowl Sunday, someday when they gotta make mad pizzas in the pizza shop, ask him to spin it around like you see them on TV and stuff. Just ask him one time, yo. Let them boys live, bro. Let them boys live.
Yo, give me a show, bro.
If they don't want to play, they don't want to play.
Like, give me a show and put some pepperoni on that joint.
They don't want to play.
I said it needs to be near the ceiling, man.
Both of y'all, make sure y'all ask the pizza shop, especially when y'all go in them dollar pizza shops with the short ceilings. Ask them to toss it up in the sky and stuff, yo.
No doubt, no doubt. Next topic, real quick, we want to get to, and I know this is going to be something near and dear to Reek. The NFL Combine was this past weekend. A couple of noteworthy things that happened this weekend. Texas wide receiver Xavier Worthy sets the 40-yard dash record at the Combine at 4.21. And Caleb Williams refused to participate in anything. I'm not giving y'all my medical records. I'm not running. I'm not throwing. I'm not doing anything. What do you guys have to say about the Combine this weekend?
Yo, man, if his pops would have run his whole thing, and he's the best quarterback besides Jaden Daniels by far, why am I wasting my time there, yo?
You lost from that statement right there. You lost from that statement right there. In my opinion, Drake May be the most NFL-ready quarterback in that draft, and he didn't participate as well. He didn't do.
Hold on. A North Carolina quarterback? Do we not see Trouble Trubisky?
I watch film. I don't care about what school they at. I watch the tape. When it comes to big time throws, when it comes to like processing their reads, everything of that nature. Drake May,
you see all the passes he missed. Yo, man,
he's going to miss some. He doesn't have the talent pool around him as Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams and the Ohio State's has. But as far as like the big
he
time,
ain't gonna have it as a top 3 pick either. He ain't gonna have it. I'm gonna say
Drake May is probably the best the one quarterback that's ready to come into a pro style system in the NFL. He also led college football in big time throws through next gen stats. But he didn't participate either. Jaden Daniels didn't participate. I think people find things to make headlines. Jaden Daniels didn't throw. It was JJ McCarthy that threw, and it was Joe Milton. But this is the thing about it though. This hype that got built around JJ McCarthy throughout the NFL Combine. Like there was a lot of spotlight going on him. And like I think we had this conversation when I came to get a haircut one day, Uncle Ty. You know,
I don't believe in him either.
I spoke with JJ McCarthy. To me, is not a top 10 pick. And this Combine, because Jaden Daniels and Drake May and Caleb Williams didn't participate, conversations are sparking about him being the top 10 pick, which to me is kind of doing him a disjustice because JJ McCarthy just turned 21 2 months ago. He's not ready to step on and be a day one starter. And if you're being drafted as a top 10 pick in the NFL draft as a quarterback, you gotta be ready to be a day one starter. He's not that type of guy. He's the type of guy that I want to learn the system, that I want him to sit behind a vet, learn the game, learn the speed of the game. And then if your team is playing like trash and after 7 games you're 2-5, then you want to give him some time, give him some clock. That's the type of quarterback I see with JJ McCarthy. He has the arm talent. He might be the second most, as far as mobility and being able to make passes outside the pocket after Daniels and Caleb Williams is JJ McCarthy. If you watch the film and see the type of throws and type of plays that he makes outside the pocket, JJ McCarthy has the tools. It just depends on he's not ready to do things day one.
He never threw more than 25 a game. Stop selling me his ghost tickets and stop selling me Bo Nix. Both of them dudes, I don't believe in. Drake.
I don't believe in Bo Nix either. I think Bo Nix is going to be a backup type of guy.
Yeah,
but you never know.
Ain't Bo Nix like 32 or something like that?
Yeah, bro.
Bo Nix is the same age as Jaden Daniels. They were the same recruiting class.
Okay.
Yo, there's been only one Chris Weinke in my lifetime.
but I don't like. I don't like how they.
That actually was a decent.
I don't like how they hype up. I don't like how they hype up the hype around Caleb Williams not participating. People don't participate. Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't even show up to the interviews that he was supposed to show up to. But no, but like the buzz around that. End of the day, that's a generational talent.
His tape is real. His tape is real from last year, even this year. You can take last year's alone.
Williams is the same way. Like you can't deny Caleb Williams. I was talking to one of my guys, and he went on the ledge and said Caleb Williams' ceiling is Kyler Murray, and I was like,
I'm gonna tell you this.
Not even close.
Caleb Williams is short. He's not 6'2", 6'3", the ideal quarterback height. That's the only knock I got on him.
Yeah, well, Aaron Rodgers is 6'.
Other dudes. One person I want to shout out that I think is going to do good, that did good in the combine, is Penix Jr. from Washington. Nobody's talking about him, but I think he's going to be a more than serviceable.
I'm not going to lie to you. Penix might be the one quarterback in the draft I have no faith in.
I have no faith in. I have no faith in Drake May. So we got it.
Michael Penix, his national championship performance kind of did it for me. He was terrible under pressure. He missed a lot of big time throws, and I honestly thought it was gonna have an effect on Rome. How do you say his last name? O'Duns.
Yeah.
He missed a lot of big time throws with him, and during that game, and on top of that, his injury history. There's a lot of red flags. I don't think Penix goes top 10. And before
not top 10. I'm just talking about second round.
But before the national championship game, he was pretty much a bona fide top 10 pick. He was going to be a top 10 pick. But
he's old.
His lackluster performance in the national championship took him out of the first round, in my opinion. Somebody may trade back into the late first round and grab him. I don't see him as a top 10 pick no more due to that performance. Because before then, he was checking every single box except the injury history. But when it came to that national championship performance, and you got to really see him under pressure, and on top of that, he's a left-hand quarterback. And left-hand quarterbacks are always going to be a little bit iffy because the time in a game, the connection with the receivers, it's completely different with the left-hand quarterback versus the right-hand quarterback.
You know what? I'll say this much. As a four-year college cornerback and 3-year starter, I subscribe to your opinions right now, Reek. And if we were on Around the Horn, Cato, you would be getting the mute button right now. But let's keep it moving. The next topic we want to talk about is sadly Chris Mortensen of ESPN. Who's had a 30-plus year career there as a reporter and analyst, passed away at the age of 72, I believe it was, after a bout with throat cancer that lasted a few years. So we definitely want to send condolences and prayers to his family. Shouts out to the whole ESPN network. And speaking of ESPN and analysts, who are you guys' favorite sports reporters or analysts right now in any sport? Doesn't have to be football, basketball, doesn't have to be ESPN or Fox. It could be on the radio, not necessarily TV. But who is the one or a couple of analysts that you, when you know they're going to be on, you check for their show because you want to hear what they're talking about?
I like the late, great George Michael from the Sports Machine.
You're taking it back. You're taking it back.
Taking it back with George Michaels and play-by-play.
The Sports Machine was something else. Yeah. That was ESPN before we had cable.
Yeah. Play-by-play, I gotta go with the OG Hubie Brown, man. Hubie Brown and my man Billy Packer.
Yo, I'm not even gonna lie. I love listening to Hubie's insights on basketball. For sure. What about you, Reek?
For me, I'm not gonna lie. For me right now, the way he breaks and dissects the game and gives us like the all 32 on ESPN right now, I like Dan Orlovsky. I think Dan Orlovsky really breaks down the game, breaks down the X's and O's, really well for the casual sports fans to kind of get more of an insight and understand the game more. And as a student of the game, I appreciate that a lot. And also, the one person I love watching on basketball, which I kind of call him Dan Orlovsky's twin. He's like the twin of Dan Orlovsky in basketball world, JJ Redick, man. I love JJ. JJ comes with the stuff. He backs up his talk. He checks everybody when they're wrong. Like JJ right now, like he's somebody that I want to start seeing more so kind of take the headline and a lot of the NBA analysts and NBA reporting because he does a really good job with it. He's somebody that I could see being a really good NBA coach one day as well.
JJ definitely knows his X's and O's. Shout out to JJ on that. And also shout out to Dan Orlovsky. I agree with you on that. Dan Orlovsky has to be probably one of the most insightful and technical analysts in any sport right now.
Yo, can I chime in, man? Can I chime in?
Who's that?
Can I chime in?
Go ahead, brother.
Sports in the City Pass?
Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Ghost of Sports Pass.
Right.
Talking about that, man. You talking about great broadcasters, man. R.I.P. Chris Mortensen, but you always got to go back to Chris Berman from back in the days.
Shouts out to Boomer.
John Madden, the late great John Madden. He used to break down and dissect the game like no other. They created the whole game after him, man. He used to be right there. He was the first one with the X's and O's. Live while the game was
turkey.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Turkey Day, but you know, that was just
turducken.
Acting it up, man. But as far as the X's and O's, I used to sit down and listen to John Madden. And yeah, that CBS team was a killer back then, bro. They was top notch, top shelf, you know. And you got the late great Howard Cosell. He's like the granddaddy of them all. You know, you got Dick Vitale, you know, and Al McGuire used to do the college games.
Dick Vitale the past 10 years has been falling off. Dick
is getting old.
How old is Dickie V now, bro?
I'm saying, man, just like Chris Berman, you gotta let go of the wheel, bro. You gotta let go of the wheel a little bit, yo.
Didn't he have his own bout with cancer? Get a man a break, bro.
I'll tell you what, the one thing I used to look forward to is Chris Berman when he's going over, when he's doing the recap of the games, and you got the theme music.
When you're talking college football, you got Keith Jackson.
My man George Michaels, yo.
Keith Jackson. I know. I heard you with George Michaels.
Yeah, you can't forget about Stuart Scott. Booyah.
Keith Jackson with the college football games. He did those college football games on the Saturday like no other.
Oh, Billy Packer. College basketball was better than them. The college football was.
What you got, your man Vern Lundquist?
One more person that I forgot all about that is really, really becoming one of my favorite people to watch on ESPN. Pat McAfee, man. I
gotta give it up. I gotta give it up to Pat, man. I kind of
annoying though.
I wasn't feeling him at first,
self-promoting,
but I gotta give it up to him, man. He has a pretty good show. He definitely has a pretty good show.
I could watch the show for like 5-10 minutes. Then after that, it's too noisy.
I'm good. It's too annoying.
It's too noisy.
Noisy, annoying.
And they added him to College Game Day.
If they brought it down maybe a notch, I could listen to a half hour.
His personality falling off. Shout out to Dustin Howard and shout out to Reggie Miller. The two brothers in the booth, they kind of took over for the Gumbo brothers. Big in respect to the booth, yo.
His personality in College Game Day, though, I think it suits College Game Day. You know, when you talk about the wild and rowdiness of college, you know, college football, the tailgating and everything. Like he fits that theme.
He doesn't appeal to everybody. Like for a college kid on that hoorah shit, yeah, you right, but not for no grown man. Like, come on. Relax a little bit, bro. We chilling at the bar. We ain't
There's an audience for everybody. I mean, he has his opinion. You guys are shouting out dudes that don't even broadcast no more.
I wish your man Jimmy
Pat
Kimmel
McAfee, that's what we doing now.
I wish your man Jimmy Kimmel was around, yo. He would have been roasting him right now. He would have roasted him, yo.
No doubt. But let's keep it pushing, fellas. Let's keep it pushing, man. As we come down to the wire, I want to get into the monsters of the week. So I'm pretty sure we got some. Shouts out to Ja Logic bringing us into the Monsters of the Week segment. I'm going to start it off with Kato Cash, my guy. Who's your nominee for Monster of the Week this week?
Monster of the Week is Mr. Wemby. Wemby from the Spurs.
Salute.
Spurs. This week, the Spurs is on a 3-game winning streak. Something we ain't never seen all season long. And the Spurs are giving him the ball. And he is killing dudes.
Every which way.
He ate up Chet Holmgren of OKC, who is the second seed, a half a game out from the first seed.
What's the record, though?
He did a number on a couple of other people the other games after that. He's putting in work right now. They only giving him 25, 28 minutes. So
they got like what, 11
wins?
He was
getting 38. If he was getting 35 minutes or so, bro. Your man stepped it up.
That's high praise for the 11-win team.
Can I finish?
Carry on, soldier.
They finally getting a view into the future, man. They finally getting a view into the future.
For sure.
Monster of the Week.
Reek, who you got?
I gotta go with my boy at MSG, man. I gotta go with Josh Hart. Josh Hart is my Monster of the Week. You know what I'm saying? Josh Hart, 6'4", all heart. Gave you 3 games in a row, 10 rebounds, 18 rebounds, 19. 2 of those games were double-double, and then capped it off with a triple-double in a win over the number 2 seed at the time, Cleveland Cavaliers, who Jalen Brunson, the 4th person of our starting 5, went out within the first minute of the game. And he kind of took over as the general of that game and led the Knicks to the victory. So big shout out to Josh Hart. That's my Monster of the Week.
Salute to Josh Hart. Hey, Ghost of Sports in the City. Who's your Monster of the Week this week?
I was going to give it to Steph and Golden State for their 7-8 consecutive road wins, but they that loss they took to the Celtics, man, put a big shot on that.
They got
mashed. That was
mashed out.
That was a mashing.
Draymond went on record.
What'd you say?
51 points, bro. So
Draymond went on record and said they went into the game plan about 15 minutes before the game started, and they decided to let Jaylen Brown shoot the ball.
That was disrespectful and dumb at the same time. Shouts out to Golden State. Shouts out to Steve Kerr for that dumb game plan. My Monster of the Week this week. Shouts out to your girl, man. You know, she did it with 3-pointers and all that other stuff, man. But salute to Caitlin Clark, man. She's a star in the game. She has separated herself from the pack. Absolutely, man. You got rappers going to your game, man, and asking for your jersey. That's something else. You know what I'm saying? So keeping it pushing, we're going to talk about the underdogs of the week.
Hold on. I got to shout out your guy, though, before we move on. Pardon me, G. Your man LeBron, man, with them overtime comeback wins, man. I don't know if you all touched on that, but yeah, that was definitely monster performances, man.
For sure, man. Salute to the king. I heard y'all
mention that
he is who we thought he was.
Lakers in the playoff, they're gonna have a problem on their hands if they have full strength.
Absolutely, completely healthy, man. The Lakers will be far from a pushover.
Hold on, guys. Just like the 40,000 points, he is who we thought he was, bro.
Well, we ain't gonna get into all that. I'm saying those overtime victories, though, that was thorough. I was like, he was in the zone. The 40,000, like, come on, he's been playing since he was 18. Probably ain't never gonna happen again. You had like Kevin, your man, the
Durant.
Big ticket.
Oh,
Garnett, yeah. Kobe, Chocolate Thunder, Moses Malone. You had a handful of players that was able to come straight out from high school. So that's probably never going to happen again. Hardly
True that.
ever.
True
You know
that.
what I mean?
True
So
that.
And that's why he don't participate in slam dunk contests.
Exactly. Underdogs of the week this week. Our top upsets. Who do you have? Let's start with you, Reek.
You talking about from this past week, right?
Yeah. Any games, events that come to mind where there was an upset that stuck out to you?
I
I'll
mean, I
tell you
might
what.
as well.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Just go ahead.
I mean, I might as well stay on par with it. Just keep it going, man. At the point where, in regards to when the Knicks played the Cavs and Brunson went down in the first minute of the game, like that game was, to me, I was watching it. I thought the game was pretty much over. I was like, well, that's it.
Well, before Brunson went down, I'll tell you, I thought that was a loss. We went into that game as underdogs, missing a lot of starters, and I think it was at the last minute that they announced that Mitchell wasn't going to play. But before knowing that Mitchell wasn't going to play, I was picking Cleveland. I had them as the favorites in that game. So that would be my underdog of the week too. Shouts out to the Knicks. Go Knicks.
Another one for me would also be Wembyana and the Spurs versus the Thunder this past week. They went and upset OKC, and Wemby balled out that game. So
for sure. Kato, what about you, bro?
Underdogs of the week is Ohio State women's basketball. They leading in the Big Ten. They defeated Caitlin Clark in front of Travis Scott and all the other ladies. They've been coming to watch them. Hold these L's. Beat her by more than 10, yo.
For sure.
Shout out to the Lady Buckeyes, bro.
For sure. Reed, you still with us? Who's your underdog this week?
Oh, definitely. I'm with you, baby. I'm here, baby. Softball, Oklahoma, the mighty Oklahoma women's softball team, 71-game winning streak got snapped by Louisiana in extra innings. That was a big underdog right there. Louisiana, shout out to them. They my underdog of the week.
No doubt. Salute to Louisiana ladies softball team. And lastly, we have the orphans of the week. We don't matter.
The orphans.
They're not on our network.
They rumble anyway.
Let's start with you, Kato. Who you not rocking with this week?
Right now, the person I'm not rocking with is somebody I haven't been rocking with. Sean Payton, bro. Did that thing to my man Russ. You took the job telling them you could do things with Russ. I know he was playing a little selfish, but one more year, bro. You trying to flush him out like Donovan McNabb, bro. I'm not feeling that. He won one Super Bowl just like Ben Roethlisberger. Give him his flowers, bro. Give him a chance to go out decent. They could have traded him somewhere.
I think Big Ben won more than one, bro.
All right, Big Ben won more than one, but he didn't win no MVP of the Super Bowl. So come on, man. Give him his props. And he never won no MVP of the league. Yo,
who you not rocking with this week, Reed?
Like adults.
Reed Richards, who you not rocking with this week?
Oh man, it's a long list, man. I'm not rocking with Shannon Sharp and that look that he had coming out that Jeep.
They said he was coming from a Diddy party.
Oh,
hey, eyes in the sky. It could get canceled too, man. The eyes in
the You right. Let me chill.
Good look.
Yeah, man.
I'm not rocking with
You right.
He's not in our network.
Come on, guys. Man. That's how these young guys are dressing nowadays.
Come on, man. You too grown for that, man. Cut it out,
Oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Reek, who you not rocking with this week?
I'm not rocking with the NFL this week, man. You know, today was the tag deadline. There was a lot of people who did not receive a tag that are going to be tested free agency, like Xavier McKinney and Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
So I'm just not happy. I'm not happy with the NFL at all this week. It was a dark day as a Giants fan seeing that we have two of our top 5 players on our roster. Both are tested free agency. One's 24 years old, the other's 27. Just not really feeling it right now.
No doubt. I'm gonna piggyback off of Kato Cash and Sean Payton, man, your days are numbered, bro. Your days are numbered. You know what I'm saying? Your payback is coming because that's foul how y'all did, my man. Like Kato said, you could have traded him or something else. Tried to get him to renege out of his contract, or tried to get him to do some dumb stuff and so you could negate his deal, and it didn't work. So you just letting him go, and you have to pay him anyway. Good luck to you guys, Broncos. You deserve everything y'all got coming to you. For real, for real. So we're down to the wire tonight, man. I hope everybody.
Saquon, you always welcome here, baby. You always welcome in Baltimore, baby. You always welcome in Baltimore, baby.
Logic, mute that brother, please. Put the cross up again, man. Hurting me. You're hurting me. Absolutely. Kato is canceled. But real quick, to finish out the show tonight, we're going to get into the top 5. And my top 5 list tonight is taken from Bleacher Report, and it's the top 5 all-time NCAA men's basketball coaches, with Selection Sunday coming up in 2 weeks and championship week being this week. This is a great topic to get into. So we're going to start off with number 5. We have Dean Smith. Dean Smith was granted the North Carolina head coaching job in, wait a minute, I'm sorry. Bear with me. I'm sorry. Yeah. Dean Smith was granted the North Carolina head coaching job back in 1961 with the task of cleaning up a Tar Heels program that was on probation. Not only did Smith clean it up, he turned it into one of the most successful programs in college basketball history. In his 36 years behind the Carolina bench, Smith amassed 879 victories, 11 Final Four appearances, 2 national championships in 1982 and 1993. Not only that, Smith was one of the great innovators of the game on the college level. Never was this more evident than the implementation of his 4 corners offense, where he could spread his players out over the 4 corners of the court to ice a victory at the end of a game. Coming in at number 4, we have Adolph Rupp, former great coach of the Kentucky Wildcats. In his 42 seasons as head coach. Yeah, okay. But in his 42 seasons as head coach in Lexington, Rupp's Kentucky teams made the NCAA tournament 20 times. 6 of those teams made the Final Four, and 4 of those went on to win the national championship. Rupp was a 4-time National Coach of the Year and 7-time SEC Coach of the Year. They go to SEC again. The man who won 876 games and at an incredible 82% rate was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame in 1969. And to Cato's point, I'm pretty certain he's not the only racist in the Hall of Fame. Coming in at number 3, we got Coach K of the Duke Blue Devils. Through his 3+ decades as head coach at Duke, Mike Krzyzewski has gone to 11 Final Fours, won 4 national championships, become basketball's all-time wins leader in Division I with 927 wins, and won 2 Olympic gold medals as head coach of Team USA. Many would argue that Coach K is the greatest living coach alive in American sports right now. Shout out to Coach K. Coming in at number 2, we have the General, Bob Knight. Few coaches in the history of college basketball have been as intimidating, polarizing, and utterly successful as General Bobby Knight. The second winningest Division I coach ever. As a matter of fact, second only to someone that he coached, Coach K, back at Army. Knight transformed Indiana into one of the country's truly elite programs with 11 Big Ten regular season chips, 5 Final Fours, and 3 national championships that included an undefeated season in 75-76. As a matter of fact, that is the last undefeated season by any team in NCAA Division I men's basketball. But ultimately, Knight's fiery temper and hard-nosed style eventually got him banished from the program he almost single-handedly built. I know everybody can remember or has, when they think of, I don't know about everybody else, but when I think of Bobby Knight, I think of him throwing a chair on the floor and then I think it was a player that he kicked or something like that. He was
What about the choke out? He choked out my man in practice. I was
wow. See, I don't even remember. I didn't even remember that one. Dude was definitely a piece of work, man. But he could.
Didn't he become a coach?
Yeah,
What was that?
Didn't he become a coach? The dude he choked out. Didn't he become a coach?
Yeah, he did. He coached
Steve-
UAB, my man.
Steve Alford or something?
Yeah. Okay. Was it Alford? Nah, it wasn't Alford.
Davis,
Though.
Mike Davis.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He choked
Mike
out
Davis.
Alford because Alford was like one of his star players.
That's what I was about to say. Now
Started
he's
to
starting late.
question.
My bad. He
He
kicked
started
Mike
this-
Davis. He
Huh?
kicked
Okay.
him
Kick
too.
Mike Davis. That's the dude he kicked.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was out of bounds though with it. That tarnished his legacy a lot.
Plus,
yeah, that
plus,
among
like-
other things.
he got his
To
son
that-
a
to
job
that
at
point,
Texas
to that
Tech.
point.
He never
That's
coached
how
him.
they do in those what states, what state belt is that? Indiana.
That's the Midwest.
That's like the Midwest.
Yeah.
What, that ain't in the Bible Belt, is it?
Nah.
Nah.
Oh, they own something else then, but
Yeah, for sure. And then rounding out the top five coming in at number one, we
Wooden.
have the great Coach Wooden of UCLA. In Wooden's 27 years as the Bruins head coach, his teams won an unprecedented 10 national championships, including 7 straight at one point in the late 1960s and early 70s. The next closest coaches in terms of titles won would be Coach K and Adolph Rupp with a meager 4 each. Wooden was a member of the inaugural College Basketball Hall of Fame in 2006, and it was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame back in 1961. So that's your top 5 for this week. The top 5 all-time NCAA men's basketball coaches.
I
At
got
5,
a
we have Dean Smith. At 4, we have Adolph Rupp. At number 3, we have Coach K from Duke. Bobby Knight of Indiana coming in at number 2. And number 1 is John Wooden of UCLA. Let's go with those honorable mentions now. Where we at, Kato?
I want to pull out Adolph Rupp, the racist, and pull out Bob Knight, the disrespectful artist.
Okay. And you're replacing them with?
I'm replacing them with Denny
Baby
Crump.
Calhoun.
Denny Crump
Okay.
from Louisville, 2 championships, 30 years, right up there on the wins list. And I also want to replace the next dude with either Calhoun from UConn and
Shouts
from
out to Coach Calhoun.
Northeastern, or I go with my man. I'm kind of drawn between Coach Cal, because I got to put somebody from now, Coach Cal,
Rick
somebody
Pitino.
from now, because he created a lot of millionaires and all his players get drafted and everything goes on as
Star makers.
expected.
I'll give you that.
He makes star makers, dudes
Star
make it
makers.
to the NBA, the next league and stuff. And that's what they go to college for.
No doubt. Reek, you got any honorable mentions for men's basketball all-time coaches?
Gotta throw my man Roy in there, man. Can't leave out my guy Roy.
Kansas and UNC. Definitely shouts out to Coach
multiple
Roy.
national titles, multiple Final Four appearances.
Hold on. Roy always had a nice team. Always had good teams. I just want to say that with Kansas.
And we're going to hold that against him?
He coached two
every
bloods.
team you're gonna have to analyze now who were the
Coached two
players on
bloods.
there.
Oh,
Like,
but the thing
Are
with
we going to
Roy
hold against him the fact that he's a great recruiter?
No, he
But the
coached
thing-
two
but no,
blue
but
bloods.
the
Dudes
thing
is
is, like,
coming.
the
It don't
thing
take a
with
lot.
his recruiting, Roy Williams wasn't a one and done type of guy. He looked for guys that's going to stay and stick around.
he won at
He-
more
he
than
built-
one school, though, Kato.
built
So
the
that
program.
defeats that argument. He won at more
Brown.
than one school.
Didn't
though.
he go to Kansas after a guy named Larry Brown, if I'm not mistaken?
Okay, so
He took over North Carolina. Yo, Dean Smith, assistant coach, almost won a championship with that same North Carolina program. Like, I give more props to somebody like my man Brad Stevens, what he did at Butler. You feel what I'm saying? I give more props to that, or even Luke Olson, how he built Arizona and got
that Lute, another icon.
You know what I'm saying?
Reed, what about you? You got any
Izzo
any
also.
Steve
It's-
Izzo for sure.
Mike Izzo
Yeah,
from Michigan State.
most definitely. I gotta mention the late great John Thompson, Georgetown, man.
Salute.
That G, man, that they made that G relevant in such a good way, man. So definitely big up to. He was like 6'10". He was a very imposing figure, man. You know,
For sure,
but
for sure.
he was a stalwart, man, when it come to black coaches, man, in them college ranks, man.
Can I tell
And
y'all something funny?
your other man from Temple, what's his name?
Cheney.
Yeah, Cheney.
Cheney, when he tried to
Definitely-
go at
Yeah.
John Calipari in the post game conference, he
said,
tried
"I
to go.
kill you."
I'll kill you.
He said, "I kill you."
Absolutely.
Me and you.
That was crazy. That was crazy. That was
Step
crazy.
outside.
Can I tell you
was
something
like,
on a
"God
side
damn,
note?
coach."
For years, I thought Georgetown was a black college, just
Wow.
because of Thompson and the basketball team.
I
That's
give
crazy. And
I
then I
give-
found out that the only black people that went to Georgetown was the people that played basketball.
Nah, yo, on the low, Georgetown is one of the schools with the highest academic standards. So it's very hard to win because you're not getting no fake credits at Georgetown. It's a very well-known school academically.
Are you telling me Patrick Ewing, straight from Jamaica, was passing Georgia?
Patrick Ewing went to prep school, bro. Patrick Ewing was in no slouch
he
on
went to
that.
school in
bro.
Massachusetts.
In
He
Massachusetts,
went to high
yo.
school in Boston, something like that.
Mm.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, them type of coaches, man. Denny Crum definitely gets a lot of shout outs. Your man Lou Carnesecca, he had a lot of fierce St. John's teams.
Oh yeah, my
No.
man Jim Boeheim. Shout out Jim Boeheim, yo, with the same zone.
Shout
he won
out to
with
Syracuse.
so many decades, so many different players, only a handful of All-Americans. And he always had deep runs.
Yeah,
doubt,
he
no
was
doubt.
a hell of a coach, bro.
Yeah, except for what happened with Bernie Fine, yo.
Well, check it out, man. We're up at it, man. That's it. That's the show for the night, fellas, man. Any parting words, any shout outs before we head out of here tonight? No shout outs. Okay.
I'm
No
out
shout
of
outs.
You always shouting out 757. You started off.
Okay, definitely. So let's shout out to 757. You know what I'm saying? 2 up, 2 down, VA. Also, shout out 718, my hometown, Brooklyn. Always got love for you. Sports fans all across the country. Like I always say, man, every field, every court, every arena. One love, big shouts out to you.
Since we doing all of that, shout out 718, shout out 347, shout out 646, shout out 516, all of them zip
212.
codes, yo.
Hold up, I got a better one for you. Shout out everybody who remembers when it was only 212.
And 917, boy.
Nah, before 917, when it was only 212, when it was 212 in Brooklyn. How about that?
Wow.
Woo!
That's
No,
taking it back.
But
That's
no,
taking
like
it back.
you said, man, shout out to the VA 757. Shout out to my guys on my podcast, man. This brought
Oh
back
yeah,
a
shout
lot
out
of
your podcast,
feels.
nephew. Put it
Shout
up
out
there.
to Here Y'all Go podcast. Me and my guys, man, we got to get back on this soon because just being back up here, this brings back all the memories that we was doing when we was doing our thing back during the COVID era. So shout out to them. Shout out to y'all for allowing me to come up here today as well, man. It's always nice chopping it up with the OGs, man. So I appreciate y'all bringing me on to talk some sports.
Absolutely. If y'all guys haven't figured it out yet, that is absolutely my nephew. Appreciate you coming on, nephew, man.
There
One
was
love.
resemblance, yo. I know
Say it again. You noticed the resemblance?
Salt and pepper.
You noticed the
And
features?
salt and pepper. That's why I recognize him. But I should have known by the specs, yo.
It's 2020 up in here tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Everybody, it's a requirement.
But you
No
killed
doubt.
it though. I ain't never
Yo,
seen a mustard Yankee hat before.
Nah,
Oh
man.
yeah, he got him in
Reed,
all flavors.
Yo,
You
Reed,
got
you
the mustard.
on you,
You
bro.
got the mustard yellow Yankee hat.
Yo,
You
Reed,
killed it. I was like, all right.
Yo, Reed, keep fronting on you, man.
I
Back
feel
in the
you, I feel
90s,
you,
we had
Yankee,
all
I
them
feel you.
colors, yo. He fronting
I'm
on
like,
you
all
right
right.
now.
You got the
Shout out
mustard
to
yellow
Fordham
Yankee
Road.
hat.
Hey,
I was like,
man.
all right.
I'll be on Hat Club, man. Hat Club be having all the hats and flavors you need when it comes to
Hey, whoa, they ain't paying us. They ain't
Yo,
paying us.
exactly.